Hey Hawaiians out there, both near, far, and everywhere in between, what's up, and welcome back to my podcast, the Hawaiian podcast. I am your host, Kalei2K. Thank you for joining me back in, and you know what, without further ado, let's just get going with this. Let's just start it off the way I intended it to be. Okay, so to start off with my mana'o moment, I just wanted to share and update those of you who have been, in the past couple episodes, I can't remember which episode specifically, I was actually sharing the fact that I got onto this prescription drug called Phentermine. And so far it's been doing some wonders. I had it before, my wife and I, and we took our kids to Disney World. I kind of started it there. However, I wasn't really focusing on the diet. So that kind of had to play an issue as far as me trying to lose weight. Because most people know that it's 90% dieting, 10% the exercising, right? And so for me, it's hard. I didn't get this big by not eating. So learning how to crave my diet and the Phentermine helping out to crave those appetites that I usually have, that just, it has helped. And so I'm gonna update you guys real soon. But before I dive into like how much weight loss I've had and my own personal thoughts on this weight loss journey and stuff, I was like, okay, for those of you who don't, let me back up. For those of you who don't know why I got onto Phentermine, it was because a friend of mine, a friend of ours, they're using Phentermine, and it has helped them to lose weight, gain energy, all this stuff. So when they saw that I was having health issues, they immediately suggested, talk to a doctor, talk to your physician and see what they can do, because Phentermine has helped them. So they believe it would help me. And without really diving into what Phentermine is or whatnot, I took my friend's word for it and I just went with it. Okay. Now, because I decided to come onto my podcast and share my experience with Phentermine, I decided to actually look it up and teach myself what it is. So let me go ahead and go over here. Okay, good thing I took notes. It says here, Phentermine, some of the common brands are Lomara, Lomaira, and Adipex-P. It's an adiuretic. It can promote weight loss when used for a short time. This is all Google, by the way. As a controlled substance, my tongue is heavy today, I tell you. As a controlled substance, it can cause rapid or irregular heartbeat, delirium, panic, psychosis, and heart failure. So be careful of those side effects. Of course, I didn't read into it until now, but overall, I think it's a great drug. And if you folks are thinking about it, this podcast is to share my life experiences. It's not to claim that I'm some sort of doctor or you should even follow my opinions. It's just me sharing, and then you take that information and do whatever the hell you want to do with it. Whether you skip this podcast altogether or whether you decide, let me go talk to a physician and see if this actually works. It's nothing too crazy. It's not like hydroxycut where they promise you're going to lose weight in 2 weeks or whatever, This drug, to me personally, and now I'm going to get into my experiences, to me personally has helped with my cravings, has helped with what I want to eat versus what I crave, if that makes any sense. So I could be craving chocolate, but what my body needs is fruits. It just wants the sugar. It just wants that taste. And so, or it'll crave chocolate and I'll just take one M&M instead of a whole bag of M&Ms. So it cuts my cravings down a lot, which has helped me. It also provided me energy. So when we went to Disney World, like I was saying, I took Phentermine there, and I'm so grateful for that because it did give me the energy I needed to push forward and to get to basically keep up with the rest of my family. Me being the biggest guy in the house, not the most in shape or healthy living type of person, this Phentermine definitely helped me out. So I really, really appreciate it. And like I said, if you guys are thinking about it, go ahead and talk to a physician. But here's my update as far as losing weight is concerned. So when I started this out a couple months ago, I weighed in at around 330 to 335 pounds. And that's scary to me because the only time I can actually remember being this size was in high school, my senior year. I tore my ACL. Things didn't go the way I wanted, but I was just lifting weights and eating crap. So I literally just ate crap food, didn't care about nutrition, just wanted to get big and strong. And I did. I got big and strong, but I also got very heavy. It probably causes my sleep apnea today, but I know that that plays a role on my heart. Now that I'm more educated, I do kind of wish that I was back in my high school days, only to have taken better care of myself so that that type of habit would have followed me into my years now as an adult. But anyways, I did lose 15 pounds, so I'm excited for that. Looking forward to losing and shedding another few more pounds. And yeah, overall, I feel good. And my personal opinion about weight loss and health and stuff is, how does it make you feel? If it really makes you feel groggy, if it makes you feel just horrible inside, then you need to find something else to do. Maybe you're not a gym person. Maybe you're not an exercise type of person. Maybe you're a person that, okay, in order for me to exercise or to get some sort of quote unquote exercise in my day, I should do something that's productive and fast paced. Maybe you go out and cut grass, or maybe you go out and rake the leaves and you do that every day, or maybe you just go for a walk. And you keep pushing yourself. Maybe I'll go, how far can I go in an hour? Okay. How fast can I get there? It's different stuff like that you can do. Or, they even say, if you clean homes, doing chores around the house consistently also burns a lot of calories as well, because, you're just constantly moving, constantly cleaning, so whatever it may be. Okay. Maybe that's not you, but for me, doing this and I actually had my cravings slow down. So I don't eat as much rice as I used to. I'm starting to eat a little bit more greens because it's just good for the system, right? And then on top of that, I've been exercising in the morning. I don't go crazy. I don't do a lot. I'm trying to get into the habit of just doing it every day, being more and more consistent. Because I know that if I'm not as consistent and I lose track, then I know that I'm going to start faltering. So for example, I'll come down into my basement. I'll do 10 bicep curls, followed by 10 air squats, then 10 push-ups, and then 10 shoulder presses. Then I'll stop, I'll breathe, and I'll do another 10 of each. And I just do however many I feel like doing that day. I don't care what the count is. I don't care what the weight is. All I care about is if I'm in the motion doing it. For now, that's going to suffice. I know that, because it's telling my body, like, hey, this is what we're going to start doing nowadays. We're going to start exercising. And I hear that a lot with friends and family. They're always talking about going to the gym, trying to eat healthier. And in growing up, I never heard that a lot, so this has definitely helped me to see the type of life I want to reach, what I want to have as a potential lifestyle for myself, and eventually pass that same lifestyle onto my kids and whatnot. And then one of the coolest things with this whole weight loss journey, what I love most of all is that because my friends inspired me to ask my physician about Phentermine, they being on Phentermine, they're going to the gym, them as, so they're all related. So there's two couples, they're related, right? And they're both couples, and their spouses are our friends. We're very close with them. So, but they live closer together, so they're able to go to the gym together. They're able to do different activities together and whatnot. And so with that being said, I am so thankful for them, that they're willing to help me to stay focused, to encourage me. For example, one of our friends, she said that her and her husband have cut their rice consumption down to not even that much a week. Whereas before they used to eat 5 to 10 cups of rice a day. Now they're down to about 4 cups of rice a week. And if you're from Hawaii, or even if you're Polynesian, rice is like everything. Okay, so we used it as a stretcher if we didn't have a lot of food to serve on the plate, as far as food and meat, whatever it may be, but we had a lot of rice, we would just put a lot of rice to compensate for the food that we're missing out on, not knowing or being ignorant to, or not even sharing this information with others, that the rice was what was giving us the obesity that we're having. And it's not the same for everybody, but that's what I felt for me, because I know that once I started cutting out rice, my weight started going down, my knees started saying, hallelujah, Jesus, this fat bastard's losing weight, we can actually breathe. Okay, so all of that plays a role in these things. And so anyways, back to our friends, I love the fact that they're encouraging, they're sharing their stories, and they were telling us that they are impacting their kids to live healthier because they don't want to pass that same, I guess, negative habits that they've had growing up. And they don't want their kids to carry that on and carry on any health problems that can become hereditary. If they can beat it, then they want to help their kids beat it. They want to help their kids beat it, not beat their kids. But for me, and I started doing that the same thing as well. So me and my wife, we spend evenings together watching our show, because that's usually the only time me and her can actually sit down, watch something that we're interested in, and converse at the same time. Well, lately my oldest daughter's been coming out late at night asking to eat, and it's 11 o'clock at night already. And so we try to, of course, we let her eat and whatever after arguing with her, trying to get her to go back to bed. But while she was eating at night, I told her, baby, this is the reason why daddy doesn't want you to eat late. Look at daddy. Daddy has to sleep with a mask on because of my sleep apnea. Daddy has a hard time walking sometimes. You can hear daddy breathing heavy. Daddy snores loud when I don't have my sleep apnea machine. So you see these different sizes. And look, daddy's not healthy. Daddy is big. Daddy is heavy. But I'm trying to lose the weight. And I'm trying to explain to her, you eating late at night, especially rice and full-blown meals late at night, is not going to help your body. It's going to hurt your body. So when we tell you, eat your dinner at the dinner table, please eat your dinner at the dinner table, okay? Eat it all. Because I guess at their age, they don't understand that they burn calories so much quicker like that, bam, 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 bam. It's easy for them. I guess their metabolism, their heart rates, whatever it may be that's causing that. Good for them, by the way. But when you get older and you've had these bad habits and you continue to do these bad habits, your metabolism isn't as fast. Your body just holds on to that negative fat or negative weight that it doesn't need, and it just basically gives you problems. And so I want to stop, like our friends, I do want to do the same. I want to stop that negative habit from happening to our children, so that they can break that curse, quote unquote curse. Okay. So yes, I had a lot of fun talking story with our friends about that. The other thing, excuse me real quick, gotta get some water. If you're ever on a podcast or you're doing one yourself, I advise you always have water on hand. You just never know how dry your mouth can get after talking, even for just 5-10 minutes. It's funny because when you have a conversation with your friends, it doesn't come off that way, but when you're doing this, sitting down in front of a camera, no one to talk to, no one's up when I'm up, no one's really, it's hard for me I don't know how that part's gonna go as far as having a guest one day or whatever, but hopefully that time, when the time does come, I'll be prepared. So I do more of these practices, more of these podcasts alone, which to me is fine because I do a lot of things alone. But it makes me not have to depend on having a guest, if you know what I mean. So anyways, besides the Phentermine, I've also been blessed by the same group of friends with something called adrenaline. ADRENOLYN, adrenaline. It's a pre-workout mix. You pour it into about 8 fluid ounces, and it does what it's supposed to do. So I've tried pre-workouts before, but none of them hit me as strong as this purple bad boy right here, okay? I'm not endorsed by them, I'm not sponsored by them, but I wanted to share what I'm doing. Like I said, this is my opinion, this is what's happening for me, that maybe you guys want to take a look at. And of course, this is medical stuff, so talk to a medical professional before you just go, oh, Calais 2K did it, I'm going to go jump on, do it, he's dead, yeah. And you F up your heart or you F up your body and you come and blame me. Don't, okay? Because I will replay this episode telling the world, I didn't tell him to do it, I just shared what happened for me, okay? So everybody does their own thing. Anyways, this is it right here. And they bought this for me, and I'm skeptical on how much pre-workout I need to take throughout the day. So I don't take it every day. I take it when I need it the most. And what I mean by that is, like for my job, I deliver packages, and towards the end of my day, I'm exhausted. I'm carrying these sometimes furniture pieces. I'm moving a lot of boxes all day. That when it's time to like either wind down or have energy to play with my kids, I start dying out, right? So I decided I will get pre-workout, pre-made, set and ready to go. And so I came up with this. Well, I didn't come up with it, but so it's your normal orange juice container or whatever juice container, measured out properly. I measured this thing out properly and added the amount of scoops that it required. So now if I do need it, I pour myself a cup, drink it, wait a couple minutes, and then boom, it starts kicking in. My adrenaline starts picking up, my energy, my excitement, my rage to just do something pops up. So, and it's actually not bad tasting. It actually does really, really taste pretty good. Oh, and speaking of which, this adrenaline. So, when I take this thing, the first time I took it, we were at Disney World. Now, I didn't take it before that because I didn't feel I needed it. But I knew us going to Disney World was going to mean a lot. It was going to be a ton of walking, which I was correct. Like I said, you could literally rob me by just putting my feet up in the air and like letting me pass out. But because we were doing that, I knew I had to bring this bad boy along with me to give me that extra boost in case I start dying out. And thankfully, it came in handy right when it needed to. Okay, I'm talking like immediately. So we're there. We're at this ride. I think it was in like the outer space area, whatever ride of Magic Kingdom. And so my wife our friends, and all our kids, my oldest daughter went. The two babies, my two youngest daughters, stayed in their stroller because they were asleep. And I was getting tired because I didn't want to walk around or whatever. So I started like sitting. I sat down. I was eating my turkey leg. My girls are sleeping, and I start dozing off. And so I was like, no, I can't doze off because I gotta stay alert in case anything happens, right? I gotta stay alert so that my wife finds me and yada yada yada. So I'm like, I pull out the bottom of the stroller. I see this full Powerade bottle filled with the adrenaline pre-workout mix. I shake it up. I chug the whole 20 ounces. Okay. Mind you, I did not measure how much of that powder was supposed to go into a 20-ounce bottle. I went based off of color. Okay. So when I poured when I was making this bottle, okay, of course I put water inside. The first scoop, I was like, too light. Second scoop, getting there. Third scoop, we're close. Fourth scoop, dark purple. And I was like, this is it. This is the one. You're supposed to have 1 scoop per 8 ounces. I had 20 ounces. So that's about twice. With 4 times the amount of scoops you're supposed to have. I was honestly on fire. Okay, I'm feeling it now. It's starting to come. The little sip I took is starting to come. Oh my gosh. No, yeah, so at Disney World, I chugged this bad boy down. I'm like, whoo. And all of a sudden, bro, I start scratching. I'm just like itchy. My butthole's itchy. My back is itchy. My head's itchy. I'm like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm scratching my head. My wife and our friends come out of the ride, and she's looking at me like, what's wrong with you? She's like, I don't know. I took. I was like stuttering. My heart felt like it was going faster. I just told her I took the book. I was outside, and this is what I learned from it. And, ouch. Oh, I took the book from where I was at. Oh, goodness. Ow, what the heck is that? This is it. Anyway, sorry about that. No, not the book from where I was at. But I said I took the adrenaline drink, and now my body's on fire, and I feel like every part of me is itching, and I just got up and literally just had to walk and just keep walking. That's not and when I told my friends about this, they're like, bro, you put too much scoops in there. Your heart was probably racing so hard, that's why you were going crazy. You were going insane. You were walking everywhere. And it's true, it did happen. And then the other time was like a few days ago. I was like, okay, I know how much I need to measure, and I measured it out properly, drank it, and was awake for 3 hours straight, just driven to do whatever I could do, driven to do whatever I could find to do to keep myself busy. And it worked out because I got a lot of shit done. So it was definitely worth the drink. But yes, that's my experience with that type of pre-workout. Alrighty. Okay, so how do we get to this? Okay, so speaking of weight loss, right? So, and this is still going on with my now moment. Speaking of weight loss, one night, my wife had messaged me saying that a friend of ours that we knew was going to be performing at this nightclub in Salt Lake City called Liquid Joe's. And so on Google, you can find different activities going on in your community so that you can go and, do date nights or whatever, do an activity with your family, depending on your community. So when my wife told me that this was going on, she told me, go look it up, talk to your friend, yada, 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 see if you can get tickets to go watch this local reggae artist play, which I'm happy to do. I'm happy to support. But at this moment, I didn't, I wasn't prepared for it. So while I'm flipping through Google, looking at this website, I notice that there are male strippers as part of one of the events. And I'm like, okay, what is this? So it's called the Girls Night Out, the show. And let me tell you, the poster on these dudes, ridiculous, okay? You know the Village people that did YMCA? Yeah, these guys put them to shame. These guys are jacked. I'm talking Hulk status. I'm talking like model status. And big ups to them. Their body sells. Their body does what it's supposed to do. Their body is a Lethal Weapon 16 right here, okay? Lethal Weapon 69, about to get it to them. So anyways, I'm watching it, I'm flipping through it, like, of course, one event, rock and roll event going on, comedy, whatever, and then this comes up, and I'm like, thinking to myself, and you got to go with the flow on this. This is how my brain works. I was thinking to myself, why aren't there more male strippers at Beachbody as, like, fitness programmers? I mean, you have Sean T. He's pretty decent. He's a very athletic gentleman, very in shape, gay as well. Why can't there be a male stripper to teach other guys how to lose weight, how to eat, how to perform for their spouse, whether gay, straight, transgender, whatever it may be? You know how amazing that would be for gentlemen like my size to lose the weight and then feel sexy and dance sexy for their spouse, for my wife? I would love to do that. I'm body shaming my own self, and I'm truthful and honest to that. But if I had a male stripper as my coach, and he was teaching me, okay, this is how you're gonna get abs. This is how you're gonna define your chest, your shoulders, your legs. Everything's gonna be chiseled, my boy. And then when you teach them the moves, so basically you put Terry Crews and Channing Tatum, and you blend them into this specimen that you want to become, okay? You turn into this bodybuilding, lovemaking, sexy dancing machine. That's basically what you want to become with this whole thing. So I'm like, why aren't there more male stripper weight loss videos? Beachbody, get on it, okay? Go ahead, get on it. You can go and do that. They have a lot of stripper, like, pole dancing exercises for females. And maybe it's guys that don't want to branch out that way. Maybe it's guys that think that, oh, that's so corny. That's not something guys do. But if you think about it, your wife would love for you to be able to put it down with some sexy Channing Tatum moves. Tell you that. They can film Mike Triple XL in your house, okay? Magic Mike Triple XL going over there. But I thought about it. Maybe one day it'll be more mainstream. If there is male strippers who do have workout videos, good for you guys. Hopefully it's working out for you guys. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts for this week. Weight loss and male strippers. All right, let's get into the next section right now called It's News to Me. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, so a lot of us have heard on the news, maybe it's just in the U.S., maybe it's worldwide, and rest in peace to this young man. But there was a young man by the age of 14 by the name of, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, Tyre Sampson, Tyre Sampson, who died falling out of a roller coaster ride at a Florida Orlando, Florida amusement park. So, with this being said, of course, sad to hear the loss of this boy, what the parents must have been going through, you know, what the workers must have felt, the owner of that park, like all these different things are playing to effect. Well, here's the twist, okay? There is also a troll present when all of this was going down, as far as when the media press started showing its face and asking its questions. A lady, okay, has to be the dumbest troll around. And this is what I don't get about trolls. Why do you have to, you know, I'm going to say it why I'm going to say it straight up, but why do you have to shit on other people's events so that you can get some sort of shine, some sort of spotlight for 15 seconds so that people know that you're a fraud? Like, come on. Anyways, so I'm going to read a little bit. It says, this lady claiming to be Shay Johnson and also claiming to be a relative / cousin to Mr. Sampson, Tyree Sampson. She talked to the press about the tragedy, how she was deeply saddened, how it hurt her feelings. Even the fact that this is the part where she has balls. Even the fact she said, hey, he called me. He said he was so happy he's finally getting on one of the rides. The people at the amusement parks weren't allowing him to go on other rides and whatnot. And here he goes. He dies. He loses his life. And this lady's just like, oh, crying. He called me in happiness and joy that he was going on this ride. And come to find out, this lady who's portraying to be a Shay, what does it say? Shay Johnson was a fraud. She was fake. You know, after CNN or other news outlets had reported about the tragedy, her being the front face, they hear from the parents of this boy saying, we don't know who the hell that is. We don't know that, but Jay part of this family. All the relatives that our son knew, he knows them. He would never have called this lady. We don't even know who she is. And then, to add more to this lady's stupidity, her real boss tweets out her real name and what she does. Okay? The owner of this nightclub called Flash Dancers, which is an adult nightclub, the owner outed her on Twitter and then fired her. I was like, when I heard this, like, you gotta be kidding me. So according to Beast.com, this is all the information that came from there. And I was just like, okay, and her real name is Louisa Browning. Lucina Browning. Lucina, sorry. Lucina, stick to figuring out what the hell your name means, okay? Probably change that name. Shay would be better. Yeah, Shay Browning. For sure, we should have suspected your name would be Browning and that this is the type of troll shit you would pull with a brown nose like that. Browning? Oh my gosh. I'm so thankful that your boss outed you out and that you got fired, because for you to steal spotlight from a boy who died, can't defend himself, can't tell you, I don't know who you are, for you to go on public national TV on a national tragedy and go ahead and steal his shine because you want the attention for yourself. Miss Browning, God be with you. Hope God strikes your ass and tells you what direction you need to go in. Maybe you should stick to the lakes and the rivers that you're used to. Follow the TLC group. They will never lead thee astray. But anyways, I hope you find other employment in possibly not being behind a camera or in front of a camera, but possibly learning how to be, humble, have to learn about humanity, having to learn some sort of decency and respect. Maybe one day when you grow up, people will actually find you interesting and would want to give you the attention that you deserve. Ever thought about that? Oh my gosh. Anyways, my thoughts on that is that I'm happy she's fired. I'm happy she got called out because, like I said, this is a shame. It's sad. It's sad that you would pick on a 14-year-old boy who can't be here just so you can get some sort of spotlight. I can't understand that, okay? For me, like, I'd be pissed if somebody was like, oh yeah, I knew this guy, this and that, we did this and this. Like, dude, why are you lying? No one cares if you know the victim or not. Okay, you don't see anybody else doing this crap but you. Cut it out. Cut it out. Okay? I don't think the boss is wrong. Definitely think this Browning person is wrong. And I just want to say God bless to the family, to the Sampson family who lost their son and now have to deal with this bull crap because somebody decided to act like they knew what they was talking about. It's frustrating when people who have no ties to anything become the biggest, dumbest object that's stealing away the shine that important situation needed. Anyways, let's move on. So anyways, sorry about that. Last but not least, time for the thought bucket. Thought bucket. Yeah, thought bucket. Thought bucket. Yeah, let's find the thought in here. All right. Here we go. Dig my hand in. Pull one out. All right, let's see what we got. No, not that one. Let me see what we got here. All right. That was an old one. I keep forgetting to get rid of them. Oh, okay, good. So this is perfect because this is going to actually liven up the mood a little bit. Question is, who is your favorite superhero and why? So this is my dilemma. I love a lot of superheroes. They're all cool. They're all amazing, like the Spider-Man. Iron Man, when he came out, I was in, diehard fan, in love with that dude. And of course, the Incredible Hulk. From DC Universe, I would have to say it's the Flash. And the reason why is because the Flash, yes, we all know that he's fast, but what can he do at that speed? He becomes so imaginative on what he thinks he can create with speed and all the abilities he can gain. He can literally, first of all, he can vibrate through solid objects. He can vibrate his molecules so fast that they can actually vibrate through solid objects and pop out at the other end. He can create energy balls. He can create windstorms. He could possibly fly with these windstorms that he creates. He can run on water. He can run up buildings. He can travel through time and different timelines in a multiverse. That's pretty cool. I don't know of any other superhero, unless technology or magic is in play, that can actually do that. So, with that being said, I think overall the Flash would destroy everybody. Like, he's like world breaker dominator kind of thing. So I like the Flash a lot. Plus, he thinks fast. He can think faster than any human being. And he can just react to things a whole lot quicker. So, I like the Flash. He's my dude. Anyways, that's pretty much it for tonight, whenever you guys are actually watching this. Thank you for joining me in for my A Hawaiian podcast. I go by the name of Kalei 2K. Look me up on all social media. I wish I could have plugged in my this little milkshake app. I got to get the actual URL and plug that in so you guys can take a look at that. But before you guys go and before I finish, I close off this thing, just want to let you guys know, if you guys are in the Utah area, as this is being recorded, I do perform at this restaurant called Hapa's. I play music. Maybe you hear me on the podcast. Maybe you see me on social media, YouTube, whatever. Look up Kalei 2K. And you guys want to meet me in person, or you guys want to, I do play music, Hawaiian local island music, at this restaurant called Hapa's, located at 133 South Linden, Utah, South State Street, Linden, Utah, 84042, I think is the address. So yeah, and pay attention to my social media. It'll let you know when I'm performing there. So because I don't perform there every week, sometimes things come up. But anyways, I wanted to let you guys know that. And dang it, there was something else I wanted to let you guys know. Great, I forget. Oh yeah, look me up on all social media. Pay attention to my Instagram account and my YouTube page, because when the episodes come out, I usually put up questions or some sort of summary, but I have questions down there. So like, for example, this week's question will be, who's your favorite superhero? Like simple stuff like that. Or how have you conquered your weight loss journey? What have you done to do that? Stuff like that. Because I want to interact with you guys. I want to interact with listeners, viewers, and then, make a segment out of that called Ask a Hawaiian. You know what I mean? So that'll be something that I can take and I can share. If you got questions for me, by all means ask. If they're stupid, I won't mention them. Okay, make sense? But anyways, that's pretty much it. Kalei2K here, signing off. You guys have a great week. Take care. God bless. And remember, spread aloha, not hate. Take care, everybody. Aloha.